How was the first day?
It's good. Got through practice. Everyone's healthy. Worked on a couple things. It's good.
What is the plan? Are you doing 2 days or?
Depend whatever we need. Today we'll watch a little film after practice. Just whatever's best for the team at that time. Making sure we have an understanding of what we're trying to do on both ends of the floor. Making sure there's good retrieval and carryover, and then we go from there. So we'll kind of make that choice at the end of each day.
A lot of the guys yesterday talked about playing faster this year. How fast did you guys imagine playing, and what went into that thinking of trying to pick up the pace this year?
Yeah, I think you're always looking at build the strengths of your roster. Just take advantage of the strengths that you have. And with that, what makes the most sense gives us the best chance to play. Playing fast, I think, is an overused term. I think it's more of a mindset and an overall approach to the way you execute, the way you move the ball, the way also you defend. So we'll just, take a look at our roster and see what gives us the best chance to put us in position to win every night, and, we'll do that.
Jordan was almost talking about, 4 or 5 guys coming in and out at a time, almost hockey line kind of play. What would that look like potentially, going a little bit of that, playing hard and starting having guys come in and out of the game?
Yeah, everything just depends on how hard you're playing and are you willing to execute. So whether it's, 1 sub, 2 sub, it really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you just got to play hard and execute what we're trying to do on any given night. And then, whatever the game calls for that particular night, whatever makes the most sense, we'll do that.
So you're talking about pulling from the sports in the past, that type of hockey sub-pattern. Is that something you looked at with hockey, or is it just the correlation?
I'm not gonna lie to you, Jordan just said that to mess with you guys. We're not doing that. So, I know you guys need the headline, but that's not happening. So don't worry about that.
Joe, your conversation's been like with Anthony about what you want to see from him, especially in terms of just engagement and commitment on the defensive end.
Yeah, I think, listen, it's just playing to the standard that we have here. Celtics have been a great defense for a long time, and you just have to be able to do that. So, job to try to get the best out of everybody, try to get everyone to play both sides of the ball. You just have to make that commitment. So, he's committed to that, and, we just have to do it as a team.
There are several guys that are here today that are not on the roster officially, but they're on the training camp roster. What is their role in this camp, and do you take time to kind of get to know each of them, learn about their goals, that sort of thing?
Yeah, their role is to make us better throughout practice. So sometimes they're in the drills, sometimes we're competing against them, because they have the ability to just play, and so play a lot against them. But at the same time, understand and learn the system. They've been here, for those 6 to 9 weeks, like everyone else has. They're here at 2 hours before practice, just kind of working. So it's the same standard as everyone else, and then any way they can help us get better to do that. But learn the system on both ends of the floor.
And the fact that everybody's been here all summer, this is media, training camp for us, but you guys have already been here. What changes this week? Does something dramatic change, or is it?
I think the intensity obviously changes a little bit, and then obviously the pace with which you go. You should have a foundation, and based on what you've been able to do, so you're able to move at a faster pace. Should be able to teach a little bit more. But really, I think just the intensity of the mindset that this is preseason and training camps. However long it is, a month, whatever the case may be, and then we go from there.
Brad mentioned yesterday how the core remaining guys like Jalen, Derek, Peyton, Sam are all shouldering more of a leadership role this year. How are you seeing them embrace that?
Yeah, listen, everyone leads in their own way. So everyone's got to understand what their strengths are and lead that way. So they've been doing that ever since they've been here. They all lead in their own particular way, whether it's vocally, whether it's through their intensity, whether it's through their work ethic, professionalism. The reason why we empower all 15, 16, 17 guys on the roster is to make sure they do their job, and that's what leadership looks like. So they just got to be their best to understand what they're great at and do that on a consistent basis, and they're used to doing that. We just got to keep that up.
Joe, that timeline of Summit.
I got you, Gary.
Were you able to do anything non-basketball wise this summer that helped you become a better coach?
Yeah, I think hopefully every year, just constantly learning. I think you're just looking to do those things, whether it's through your faith, whether it's through studying other sports or other coaches. You're just trying to get better as a person. I think if you can, get better as a person, it'll help you get better as a coach. So, hopefully doing that even during the season, just trying to grow as a person, because I think that'll help you build better connections, build better relationships. So, I probably suck at it sometimes, but, it was a point of emphasis, especially through my faith, to be able to do that in the offseason.
Joe, what does a guy like Josh Minot have to do to make an impression and get some minutes.
Yeah. I mean, quickly learn the system, right? Have an understanding of what the execution is, what his role is, what the defensive assignment is, and on the offensive end, can he help us create advantages? Whether it's through sprinting and transition, whether it's through screening, whether it's through offensive rebounding. I think clearly understanding what his role is and then executing that with a high level of consistency and intensity.
Joe, what have you seen from him throughout the summer?
I think when you're able to play at such a high level like he has throughout most of his life, it's not necessarily overwhelming. Not to say that he won't go through difficult times, but has a level of professionalism, has an understanding of kind of how the game is played, and just has an eagerness, to want to learn and grow as a player. So just have to keep that up.
Joe, how did so many guys being here for so long, like dating back to August, impact where you guys were today on day one?
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to skip those steps because you didn't get everybody at the exact same time all the time. You had a lot of people, and so you do have your language set in. You do have relatively shell of what your identity looks like, and then now this is a time where we put that together, and you get certain guys on the floor that maybe you hadn't gotten at the exact same time and work through those situations. So want to move at a fast pace at the same time. Can't take for granted the habits and the language that we have to know so that we can execute it under duress.
Since you have some previous vocal leaders, as you said, everybody leads in a different way. How much do you find your approach with the team now in practices changing in terms of how you relate to them, maybe ramp up the intensity vocally or anything like that?
Yeah, just you got to know what your team needs at a particular time. Every day is different. Obviously day one, everyone's energetic and enthusiastic on day one. I mean, I think that's a waste of time. You have to try to. It's not long lasting. It goes away relatively quickly. So you don't really want to rely on enthusiasm. You want to rely on the passion, the details, the work ethic, and the mindset. So really, it's just about being consistent, having a consistent mindset, having a consistent approach, having a consistent dedication to the details and to the system that we're trying to play. And we should be acting, coaching, playing, thinking, working the same way we do 2 months from now as we did today. So that's the most important thing.
Final question for Joe.
Joe, what is the philosophy and messaging with this group when it comes to defining roles versus starters and coming off the bench? And how are you?
Yeah, I don't think roles have anything to do with starting, and those aren't roles. Has nothing to do with roles. Roles come into is like, what are your strengths? How do you make us better? What gives us the best chance to win that particular sub-pattern, that particular half, that particular game, that particular stretch of games? And so roles and starters are not synonymous. Roles and finishers are not synonymous. Roles are at any point in time, are you giving us the best chance to be successful at that particular time? And that's the lens with which we have to look at that. There's been great players who have never started. There's been great players who have never finished. None of that really matters. What matters is, can you do your job when it's called upon under duress, as consistent as possible.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.